Here's a breakdown of the project I've been working on for the past week. Got a rail, got a plate, block, another block. This holds the blade on the ram of the press. There's a spacer plate that goes under this plate. Piece of angle. Sets the length. And assorted hardware. All of this I had to design and come up with based on the required lengths of cutting these pieces of rubber. And also the idea was to never have this blade exposed where an operator could cut themselves. It is razor sharp. I'm going to go to assemble this and pick up on this video. Here we have this block lightly mounted to the plate. Spacer plate set in place underneath. Begin adding this rail onto this here. This rail has now been mounted to the base plate and to this shear block. One of the screws that keeps this base plate on the press is captured beneath this rail. There's an access hole in order to be able to tighten the screw. The other hold down bolt goes here. We'll go ahead and get it on the press. This plate is now loosely mounted on the press. I have the spring relieved from the ram. I'll remove this spring pin. And we'll now map the blade block. Block has the ram go down inside of it, and there is what's called a shoulder bolt. Holds it in place and keeps it aligned. I'll go ahead and get these fasteners put in. I have one bolt in the front. The spring pin goes through the back of this block. Returning spring will catch in this groove here on the end of the spring. This blade block has now been mounted, spring reattached on the back on this bolt. These screws on the side of this block prevent this ram from going all the way up, and in turn, as will be shown, it keeps the blade from going beyond this block and being exposed to where someone can be cut. I'll go ahead and install the blade now and align this base plate where the blade is properly in contact with this block. We now have the blade mounted and the base plate properly adjusted in relation to this blade. The ram is fully retracted. The blade is not exposed. Point. I'm able to rub my finger carelessly along that blade, and on the full stroke down, the blade still does not make contact with the bottom of the base plate. Now move on to installing the material stop. As simple as inserting these push lock pins. Now this is set up and adjusted. The stop that it is currently set at is for a piece of material. Three round pieces of rubber all lined up next to each other. Insert this material into the appropriate slot. push it out. I'll give it a truing up cut on the end. Advance this material in up to the stop. Lower the blade, shears the material. The material is now cut to the specified length on the print. In like manner, we can change location on this stop. Go to a different material. This will go through the hole here. Material is inserted up to the stop. Material is cut. And third dimension available on this, as it currently is arranged. Insert material, cut. Part is now cut within tolerance to the specifications on the drawing. Again, this design is such that operators are never exposed to a sharp blade. There is only one position for each part to place the stop, and thus the parts will always be the correct length. This is all made from materials we had on hand in order to keep costs to essentially zero.